Yeah. All right. So, my presentation is called Hybrid Lives, and you're going to figure that out along the way. That's why it's called that. That's just the thing in case you need to look it up later. Little errors at the bottom. Yeah, it just takes a while to do. And we're going to be doing a lot of discussion today. This is the only stuff that has like a ton of work, so don't be scared. We're going to be doing a lot of discussion today because the article was about interviewing dance educators, also known as teaching artists, which I thought was interesting. We'll talk about later, about their experiences and what they think is important in the field and in education. So I'm going to be sort of interviewing y'all as teaching artists to see what you think as well. And this, if you want to just read through. So, this is just the beginning quote to get your mind thinking about the topic. So, just some questions that the study provided were, what kind of skills preparation, action training, artistic experience characterize teaching artists in dance? What background, experiences, situations motivated individuals to become teaching artists? How prepared were study participants upon entering the teaching artist field? What challenges do participants confront in their current teaching artist practices, and what beliefs and attitudes do teaching artists hold about the professionalization of the teaching artist profession? I know that was a mouthful, don't worry, I'll have questions on the slides as we go. So, my first question. Alright. This is a quote from the article, highly trained yet less than prepared. And I want to ask y'all, what do you think this quote implies about teaching art? What quote say to you?
Just because you've been trained a lot in your field doesn't mean that you're prepared to be a teacher.
And why would that be?
Trained to be a teacher.
Highly trained, you have to practice, or you really get knowledge of how to do something actually.
And what does that, like, how, reflecting on our class now that we're in, what does that also mean? Like, thinking about what we do in our class now, how we do simulations of actually teaching, do you think that prepares you completely for teaching in the field? Yeah, okay. Just keep that in mind. That's the question. In this study, they found that most teaching artists, the study were highly trained in their art, even had advanced degrees, but they said really truly they get most of their practice from in the field experience, but that education was still important to be prepared. Alright, do you think that it's necessary for a dance educator to further their education beyond the undergraduate realm, or even further their education in college? Like, do you just need a high school degree technically to teach dance? What do you think? You have to think about it for a second.
I think years of experience teaching could equal like having a master's degree, but it might not be what people hiring look for.
Right. So it can help you get a job, but truly being a teacher, where do you get your skills and what makes you truly a good teaching artist? as a member of like academia, like the world of academia, like obviously you go up if you further your education. You have access, you also have access to studies and research that are important in the field as because we're studying those things right now. And cons, I think you lose time in the field. So basically, let's say you are in a ballet, you can go straight into a ballet company. Going to college might like prevent you from going further in that because you spend all of your young years in college. So it goes both ways. And cons will be gained like field experience in teaching, like when you're in the classroom, and the financial aspect of paying to get through school to the higher you go. Because everyone knows it's expensive, and that goes along with our field work. So, did you remember?
Yes, I
Okay.
was actually going to say that it depends on like the circumstances.
Mhm.
Like, I think the school setting, advanced education is important. Like history and all that, but studio setting, otherwise,
Okay, so it depends on the different settings. Alright. Do you think that it's important for a dance educator to have their degree in a particular field that they're teaching? So,
I feel like dance can be really versatile. Like, I mean, you can pick up a jazz class even if you're like primarily a ballet teacher.
right. So if you're teaching ballet at a studio or even at a school, like private school, you could have your degree in something else and still be fine with being a professional or a good teacher without a degree.
Because I think it always back to experience, like we were talking about. I think that's the main thing. I mean, I think it's good to at least have a bachelor's degree because there's so much you learn in college and there's so much experience that you have you wouldn't if you were outside of that. But I think that it's mainly just like your time in the classroom that matters.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it would definitely have its benefits. It would help a lot. I mean, taking Mara, she has a master's in English education, and she's still like a fabulous ballet.
Yeah.
So
It makes you able to like articulate your like the education that you have giving it to your students. It makes you be able to articulate to them better. And also sometimes if you have a degree in something that is your specialty, it also helps with validity. So like validating yourself to others, saying like, look, I'm a professional in this. I have my degree in it. All right. This is just food for thought. Out of 192 population samples, how many do you think are served by artists of teaching? So, you don't have to answer it, it's just a food for thought. And this is a chart from the study, and it just goes to show, if you just gaze over it, that artists are everywhere. There's only a few at the end that this particular study said that it didn't affect, but really if you look into those and go further, it could relate to that. So I'm going to move on so I have time to get to other things. Not too many students say, I want to be a dance teacher when I grow up. They say something like, I want to be a ballerina. And I wanted to know, like, why do y'all think that is?
Yes, you could say that the ballerina is the one that's on stage and the one that's being admired, and then the teacher is kind of more behind the scenes, so no one ever really sees the teacher very much.
And I think we all know that, like, teachers are really important because without teachers, we wouldn't have a real field. So basically, just thinking further, since we don't have a ton of time, what could we do as dance educators and as teaching artists to instill the I want to be a dance teacher in students and show them the importance of being a teacher? And we kind of went over this by talking further, whether or not it's important to be in the classroom or in the field. So we went over that already. So let's look at that one. And this is a chart just about non-classical avenues of education and experience. So what you do to further your education, even after you get your college degree, it's not okay to stop or anything. Most professionals said that they had tons of experience, which is shown in the top one, with a variety of things within the field of dance. And also they went to educational studies and did other coursework in that field to further their knowledge. So once you go into the field, you're going to come out with tons of questions. And you go to courses and stuff like that to answer those questions that you come up with by working in the field. And challenges and obstacles. We've talked about this a few times before, and I just thought it was interesting that most of these things are not intrinsic. So there's never really an issue with being motivated intrinsically. In our field, usually people that are in our field want to be in the field because they love it. And I wrote determination, passion, and intrinsic motivation for yourself. So you have to have because all of the things on the top are going to come at you and you're going to figure out how to go around. So that's just some of that. And this is just, I became a teaching artist because I was going to have my concern and wrap up so we can get done. But I thought it was interesting, the different percentages, if y'all wanted to slow down a little bit quick. Being a teacher usually is you want to be a teacher. The lowest percentage being just an opportunity to be able to teach. And that's just, if you want to go get some more info, because it was a really interesting long article that you can share with you. But that's kind of summary. And the reason I asked questions was because that was kind of